Hello, my friends. Mr. E here, reporting live for Sloptide News Network, your most trusted source for all things Darktide and, of course, Slop. Today brings a couple of news items for you. The first is a new in-game event that we'll be talking about. Then we are going to talk about a couple of bugs/features for the Arbites class. Let's dive in. Firstly, we are talking about the new in-game event Light the Fuse, which is an explosive-themed event, as you might imagine. What's going on with this event is questionable. This event, I think, was probably not tested super thoroughly ahead of time. As you spawn in, and I was playing on uprising difficulty for this footage, by the way, enemies are trying to kill you before you're even in the map. The game is non-stop spawning little chains of like 3 to 4 bursters that are just conga lining over to you and trying to blow you up. I wiped 2 times before I was able to record even a few minutes of footage here because bots simply cannot deal with this, and those little conga lines of explosive enemies are incredibly dangerous. As far as negating the danger, I would definitely recommend, if you're attempting to do this event, bring lots of shout, bring lots of chorus, things that can protect you from those bursters, because you are going to take bursters to the face. In addition to bursters, there's tons of pox bombers as enemies, and there's also just about every barrel on the map that could possibly be lit is lit, so you're ready to get exploded and fly off the map at any second. And additionally, and I believe this is true, it feels like it's true, the gravity or the impact of these explosions, bursters and otherwise, has been increased. So you get absolutely yeeted and deleted at the same time when you get exploded upon, which is kind of fun. This event is fun in a very chaotic way, but it is not very well balanced, I will say, especially if you're not running any sort of gold toughness on the team. As far as rewards, it is the very typical reward pattern, just diamantine, ordo dockets, and plasteel. So if you're a newer player or you're just trying to bankroll your stuff, good event to play in. It does actually have a cosmetic insignia as the maximum level requirement. You only have to do 10 missions of it, and you can do them on any difficulty. All you need to do is look for the little crucis or relic icon in order to have the event active on the map, and it gives you a little grenade, holy grenade, as a cosmetic insignia. So it's not just another portrait frame, which I'm approving of because there's just too many portrait frames and not enough insignias. So that's good. I won't complain anymore about no Aquilas because, I think it's falling on deaf ears at this point. I just don't think it must not be possible. But hey, if they're going to do events like literally back to back like this constantly from here on out, I guess we can just assume it's like part of the game now, and you know, I don't mind having an event pretty much constantly. I don't think it's a bad thing to have these small events going every single month. So, you know, I'm not terribly upset about some extra resources and a fun, silly, stupid thing to play and get blown up by. Now, let's go ahead and pivot over and talk about the Arbites, because there are a couple of bugs affecting this class that I want to talk about. Before I do, though, let me remind you that I am attempting to reach 40,000 Warhammer 40,000 subscribers before the end of the year, and if you would like to help me along that journey, I really appreciate your subscription, liking the video, sharing it, all that good stuff. I really appreciate you. Now, let's talk Arbites, as I said. The Arbites, as many know currently, is critically bugged. He can crash in the middle of games, and the cause for this crash has been found. It is caused by an overload in the number of buffs that appear in the bottom of the screen. When you look at the gameplay, well, my screen is a little bit different, but in your gameplay and non-modded gameplay, the bottom row on the screen shows all the buffs that are affecting any given character. And when those buffs exceed a certain number, I believe the number is like between 40 and 45, it causes the game to crash. Now, 45 buffs is a lot, but the Arbites can reach it quite easily because he has a number of buffs that not only count once, but they count multiple times. They can be triggered and add in as their own buff several times. So when this happens, that plus all of his normal passives allow him to exceed that cap, and he'll cause himself to crash. The same thing, in fact, can happen for Veteran, and one would have to assume by that logic that it can probably happen for other classes as well, but I don't think other classes have access to enough buffs to cause it to occur. The fix for this has been found as well. There is a couple of ways to fix it. There is a mod on Nexus Mods if you're playing on PC, and that will allow you to temporarily patch this. Fatshark has said that they are aware of the issue, and the fix is coming in 1.8.6, which almost definitely will not be tomorrow. It will likely be on Monday or Tuesday of next week, one would hope, especially, you know, for a bug that's causing like instant game crashes as it is. Seems like a high priority to me. And they are back, so we know that they're actually working on this actively. But if you do have access to mods, you can go and look by recently downloaded on Nexus Mods and filter and get one of those mods installed that can prevent this. The first one is that one I was talking about where it says like Arbites crash hotfix or something like that. You'll see it if you search by recently downloaded on Nexus Mods. The other thing, and the mod that I would really recommend, is better buff management. Now, if you're using the mystery membership approved suite of mods, you are already immune to this bug because my UI setup uses better buff management. So you will never have enough buffs on your bar in order to cause your game to crash because we curate the buffs using this mod. This mod allows you to select any given buffs that appear on any given class and then say, okay, I only want this one, this one, this one to appear. So if you haven't installed mods or you haven't ever tried UI mods, this might be a great place to start. It might be a great impetus to start because otherwise you're going to be crashing left and right. So those are my two recommendations. Either go check out that specific mod that will stop this crash from happening until the hotfix, or download better buff management and get that working. For PC players, or sorry, for Xbox players, what I would do is probably avoid the right side keystone, the forceful keystone, because I know that happens to have at least one, maybe two different buffs in it that can stack multiple times and cause this crash. So probably sticking to the left side keystone, or just don't play Arbites for a few days. I know it's the big ask because we've already been abandoning it for like a month, but hey, you know, these are the fixes I can come up with as not a dev myself. Anyway, guys, that is the end of the bad news. Let me show you something that might be perceived as good news and something that might help you in your games. And the absolute death field of crushers here should give you some hit what I'm about to display. So we have the Arbites Shock Maul here, right? This Shock Maul is the strongest weapon on the class. It has absurd DPS, and it has one special feature to how it works. Let me explain that really quickly so you understand what you're seeing. When you hit an enemy, they are primed with this like electric field on them. See that? So I'll hit an enemy, and then if you follow up with a special attack, that special attack, it generally does way less damage than a regular attack. It only does like 275 compared to 654 on a light attack. But when an enemy is primed like this, it will cause them to turn blue and be shocked and stunned for a good duration and take about 800 damage to a crusher even. So this means that you know, for let's get rid of this guy. For a crusher that's actually actively attacking me, I can hit him like that and I can stun him, and now he actually can't act for the next few seconds. This weapon special is very, very strong, but it's counterbalanced by the fact that it doesn't do very much damage on its own, and it has an overhead sweeping pattern that is, you know, not exactly the best pattern for many things. However, if you do this, use the weapon special and swap away mid-use. So I used it first and then I swapped with my quick swap button. Now I can bring my Arbites Maul back out, and I'm just going to hit this enemy. Oh, it's not triggering. There it is. Okay, so now we can see that just my light attacks on this enemy have a chance to proc the electrocution effect. There it is again. I don't know what exactly the odds are of this happening, but you can see that on about the second or third hit every time, he's getting this electrocution effect on him, and I'm not having to weave in any of those weaker special attack hits. I'm able just to continue light attacking, and then he gets electrocuted like this, and his 1 takes about 800 points of damage, but his 2 also CC'd for the duration. So this makes the Arbites, which is already the strongest Shock Maul, or strongest weapon on the class, even more powerful. Adds a very, very powerful and controlling damage over time effect to the weapon, and this lasts all the way through weapon swapping, any sort of pushing, hitting, whatever you need to do. I don't know if it lasts through being down, but the only thing that I've noticed that you can do to reset the state and get back to not being glitched and having this active on the weapon is to use the weapon special again. If you use the weapon special fully, it'll turn the effect off and you'll no longer get it, but all you need to do to turn it back on is use the weapon special and quick swap away, and you'll be back to getting that electrocution within no time. There it activated again. There it is. So, hopefully that bug is helpful to you guys. I don't know how long this one is going to stay in the game. It depends on whether Fat Shark sees this and addresses the issue. I'm putting it out there because someone informed me on stream, and I don't want to be the only person using an exploit. So, if we all exploit together, they can't ban all of us, right? But yeah, I thought that was a fun little one, and I can't believe that something so crazy is allowable in the game. So go check that out, and I appreciate you for watching. Mystery is out of here. Have a good one.